Hi there, Paul in Perth here again. I've got this BL Mazda 3 here, and I've had a request to do a strip of a door. So this here, as you can see, is a front left door, or a passenger door in Australia, but if we're in Europe or the US, this would actually be the driver's door. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to completely strip this door. So we're going to remove the driver's door handle. On the rear, we're going to remove the internal door handle. We're going to remove the glass, the window reg. We're also going to remove the door lock actuator and anything else I can think of when we get in there. Okay, so let me just put it up here and we'll get started on the strip. Let's go through the tools that we're going to use today. So just in case I need to get the window up or down, I've got a 12-volt power supply here, and I've got a little harness that I've made up from another door that I've taken apart. I'll show you that in use later. When we do the door lock actuator, sometimes the screws are quite hard to get off. So just in case I need to use an impact screwdriver, I've got an impact screwdriver with a fairly large Phillips head on it, and I've got a copper hammer. And if I don't need to go that far, I'm going to use a large screwdriver and on a wrench, on a ring. Or maybe it's just going to come off with a basic Phillips head. Just some general tools here. I've got two picks, so I've got a straight pick and I've got a 90-degree pick. It's always helpful to have a medium-size flathead around the place. I'm definitely going to need a clip removal tool, so you can get these on eBay for about $10 delivered. That's all pretty easy. I'm going to need a T25 Torx bit to get some stuff out of the door, so make sure you've got a T25. A nice plastic trim tool so that you don't damage things on the way through. And just to make things quick, I'm going to be using a 10mm on an impact wrench. If you've got a 10mm on a hand spanner, that's perfectly fine. I'm just going to use this to make it quicker for the video. So let's go back to the door and let's start stripping it. So the first thing we want to do is remove the trim off this door handle. So if we get in under the top there and pop it off, you'll find that just peels off. The next thing we want to peel off is the window switch, as I recall. I am doing this from memory. So I think, let me just get a flathead. I'll just reach over the top of you. There we go. Okay, so that comes out. Remove the electrical connector. There we go. So that's now off. Next thing we want to do is pull the internal door handle apart. So if you pull the lever out, you'll find that you can slip a little flathead in there under that backing plate, and you'll find that it pops out. Okay, whoop, it's gone down there. Let me get that out for you. Okay, so all I've done is I've levered that out. Okay, now I've got some screws to remove. So I'm going to put my flathead away. I'm going to get my medium-sized Phillips. I've got 3 Phillips head screws to remove. I've got one here, I've got one here, and I've got one here. Okay, so starting with this one here, just like any other screw you've ever removed, so anti-clockwise, and that one's out. That one's out, come on you little baby, and this one here is out. Okay. At this point, with those 3 removed, I can actually now remove the skin. So if you find a levering point, and you'll find just near this check strap here, there is a little area where you can put your hand in and you can pop it out, and you will find that the whole thing pops off. And what you're going to find is the only thing holding it on at this point is this door latch. So if you just come around the rear here and shoot it from the rear, you'll see that I've got these 2 connectors here. I'll get them out and then I'll show you how I got them out. Okay, they've got these little L shapes on them. So what I did was I just positioned them in the hole and I got them to pop out. So at that point, my skin is off. So that's done, that's off now. Right, so What I'll do now is I'll show you how to use this little harness that I've got. So I'm obviously not connected to the car, so I don't have 12 volts. So what I'll do, I'll just unplug that electrical connector from the window reg, and I'm going to plug in this little harness that I've made up. I'm going to plug it in there. And what I'm going to find is if I want the windows to go up or down, by putting it across 12 volts in one direction, it'll go up, and in 12 volts in the other polarity, it'll go down. So there it is going up. And just by reversing the polarity, I can make it go down, okay? So even though I'm not connected to a battery, I do have the ability to make the window go up and down. And if I'm going to be removing the window, that may be important. This harness is just that bit of wire that I've basically pulled out of a different door that I've taken to pieces, and I've just grabbed the 2 wires that I need. Okay, and that's just a recharge, like a jump pack that you can buy on the internet. Okay, so what do we want to take apart next? So let's take the window apart. So to take the window apart, the first thing we need to do is take out this window motor. So I'll just reach over you and I'll just grab this 10mm wrench here. So there's 3 that hold that in. Right, and at that point I can pull the window reg out. So that spins in one direction to make the window go up, spins in the opposite direction to make the window go down. Okay, now let's take off this internal panel so we can see what's going on behind it. Now, you'll notice that there are 2 that are different to the rest. What that is the runner for the window. So just before I go any further, how about I actually show you what's going on there. Just grab a flathead and take off these 2 inspection panels. And what you're going to find behind there is the window pane. Now, I'll show you how to remove the window properly. So if I grab my harness again, actually, what I need to do, I need to actually temporarily put this motor back in place, but I can hold that in place, that'll be all right. Oh, no, I can't, because that's going to sit like that. Ah, damn it. Oh, well. Okay, I'm going to have to do things differently. That's the window pane there. What I should have done is, when I had the motor all set up, I should have raised the window up until I could see the 2 bottom nuts, and then I would have been able to disassemble it with this still intact. Now I'm going to have to pull it all apart to get it, but don't worry, you'll work it out. But just take the tip from me. What I should have done, I should have raised it up until I could see the 2 nuts there. Then I should have removed the 2 nuts and I would have been able to pull the window out. Now I'm going to do it the hard way because I'm doing a complete strip. Okay, I think that's all of them. I'll certainly know if it's not quite shortly. Now it's held on with a little bit of adhesive. So what you'll find is once you pop out this top plug here, you can now actually just peel it off. So just with a bit of force, I'm just pulling backwards, and the adhesive I can feel is giving way. And I'll work my way around. That's all coming off. I'll grab my clip tool, and I'll just unclip these clips. Oops, broke that one, that's a shame. Broke that one too. So we'll unplug the speaker. Alright. And Okay, so now we've got that internal skin off. All right, so what I should have done earlier was I should have raised the window up and it would have gone up on that rail until those two bolts were through those two inspection holes. And had I done that, I would have very elegantly been able to undo these two bolts. And what I would have found is that I could have then removed the glass up through the top of the door. I would have found I could do that. Okay, so there's my window out, and because of the way I did it, there's my reg. Okay, so I've got my window out and I've got my reg out. Okay, so let's start working on the door lock actuator, because here's the two things that went to the door handle, if you remember. So if the cameraman wants to come around to this side of me, we'll start working on that. Now, there's 3 Phillips head screws here. I've got to tell you, these are put in really, really hard. So 2 things. One is you need to be careful with them if you want to reuse them, because if you're rough on them, you'll round them a little bit. And the other thing is start with the easiest way and work your way up. So I'm just going to start with a medium-sized Phillips head. We'll see how many of these 3 I can actually get out. I may get none of them out. All right, that one's too hard. That one's too hard. Okay, so I've got none with a medium Phillips head. Let me try a large Phillips. No, that one's no. No. No, okay, so now it's time to get a little bit more rough. So I'll start with the easy one. So we'll go tap, tap, tap. See whether that's enough. Yep, okay, so I've got that one moving. I probably should have tapped him in the first place, to be honest. So there's a lesson, tap them before you actually start. No, that's going to be the hard one. Okay, there's always one that's hard. All right, so the third one's going to be really tricky. So I'll give it another hard bash and then we might go to the impact. Okay, we've got it. All right, so in retrospect, as is often the case when you do these jobs, afterwards you can work out what you should have done. So what I should have done is a large Phillips. I should have bashed them first, and then I wouldn't have got the damage that I've got on the heads of those screws. So these screws are not great. I wouldn't really want to reuse them. And had I done that right the first time, I wouldn't have damaged them like that. So we've now got those 3 screws out, and if my memory serves me right, I can now, so it's almost coming out, it's stuck on something. What are we stuck on? Oh, okay, so we're stuck on that. Okay. What I'll do is I'll take this the door handle apart, and then that'll come out, and I'll show you what's going on there. So that is, oh, there we go, it's come out now. Okay. So what I had was the wire, this wire here, was going through that hole there. So I needed to actually pull it down and out. So there's my door lock actuator. So that's how you get that out. Let's keep going though. So we've still got the external door handle, if you remember. So we've still got this puppy here. So the question is, how do we get that out? And I'm glad you asked. If you look on the side here, you'll see that there's a black circular inspection hole. You can get that off, and what you'll find is hidden in there, I don't know if you can zoom right in, you'll find that there's a T25 in there. Okay, hopefully that's showing up on camera. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a T25 in there and show you what you can do with it. So there it is. Right, so I'll keep going until that gets really loose. And as that gets really loose, what I'm going to do here on the outside is I'm going to start to lever, just gently lever this outside corner. Okay, and what I'll find is it will pop. There we go, it's just popped. Okay. So that's it there. So what I had was there's a T25 bolt that goes into there and holds that on. Okay, so now that I've removed that T25, that's now out. Now, this one, super easy. All I'm going to do is push it that way and pull it out, all right? So push that way, pull out. That's all it is. That's all that's holding it on. So there's our two parts of our external door handle. It was all being held in by that T25 that we got to through that inspection panel. Now, you shouldn't really have to, but if you wanted to, there is a backing plate for that for the external door handle. It's up in there. It's a couple more T25s. It's all really obvious. You'll be able to get that out. Other things that are really obvious, like these weather strips. If you need to change the weather strips for any reason, maybe they're leaking or whatever, they are just rubber. They sit in the sill there, so you can just pull them out. And if you need to change them over, you can change them over. If you need to do these external weather strips, they're just clipped on. So if I just gently prise that up, it's hard to do it gently without breaking. There you go, I broke it. There you go. You tend to break the old ones. You've got to be careful when you put the new ones on that you don't do it. But there you go. That's those weather strips. So you'll probably break the old one getting it off. Just put the new one on quite gently just by pushing it down. So pretty much that's a door strip. The only difference between, now bear in mind I'm in Australia, so this is a passenger door. In America it's the other way around, in Europe it's the other way around. The only difference with a driver's door in Australia is this section here on a driver's door would have a driver's lock in it because you put the key in it and you can lock it, unlock it and lock it manually. So there's a little bit more mechanics on that part. It's nothing you can't work out for yourself. The other difference is to do with the window switch. On a passenger side, it's just the single switch. On a driver's side, it's a whole panel that has 4 switches and a mirror thing and all the rest of it, okay? I hope that's helped you. Now, if it has helped you, I need you to help me. And what I need you to do is smash like and subscribe. I've got to get my numbers up so that I can start to get monetized, and the way I do that is with likes and subscribe. So please do that. Thank you very much. Please leave a comment below. I love knowing that I've helped you, okay? Thanks. See you next time.